Hey, Daily Dosers, Chris here. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope you're working on your wheel that we hit yesterday, that we hit the message on this weekend. How am I walking with the Spirit? How am I walking in this divine nature, participating in the divine nature with God? Man, even fathoming that statement, that structure. Today, I want to take you to the end of chapter 1 of 2 Peter, and it's this sad, well, they're sad verses. And right now, you're like, oh, I got enough sadness, I'm going to turn it off. No, they're going to be encouraging to you. But coming from Peter, they're sad verses. Let me just read them. We hit them briefly this weekend. It's in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 12. He says this, so after I told you 11 verses about how to walk with God, how to have knowledge, how to add goodness and self-control and perseverance and all this to your walk, he goes, so I will always remind you of these things, even though you know them and are firmly established in the truth you now have. I think it is right to refresh your memory as long as I live in the tent of this body, because I know that I will soon put it aside, as our Lord Jesus Christ has made clear to me. And I will make every effort to see that after my departure, you will always be able to remember these things. Maybe it's the ripe old age that I'm getting to. Maybe it's the fact that my kids are now at that stage where they'll be leaving the house, hopefully, sometime in the next several years. But man, these verses just hit me on this Tuesday. Peter just lets us know, I'm writing you how to walk with God, to your knowledge, how to add these things, how to walk in the Spirit. And here's why I'm reminding you. I know that this earthly tent, this body, I know I'm about to leave it. God has made it clear. Rome will kill Peter shortly after this book. These are his final words. And he goes, but I want to leave you with this. I want to leave you this. And in verse 15, and I want to make every effort to see that after my departure, you will always be able to remember these things, those first 11 verses. I want you to remember how to walk with God because you've seen my life, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the book of Acts, how I walked with God. Let me give you one more encouragement from Peter's sad verses there, and that is simply this. One of the reasons I have made my walk with God my biggest pursuit in life is because of those that will be left when my life is done. These are the very things I want them to know about Dad. Not just what he taught, not just the margins and what he wrote in the Bible, but this is how he lived. This is what I want to pass on to you. This is my legacy. This, parents, whether you're about to have kids or whether you're single, maybe thinking about married or been called to singleness, or whether your kids are just carrying in the womb right now or they're out of the house and has grandkids, this is one of the reasons my walk with God has to be the very pinnacle, purpose, priority of what I'm doing. Because whenever I leave this tent, whenever I'm gone, I want my kids, I want the Brown generations, and I want those to know me to go, man, his walk with God. His walk with God, because nothing else matters. I just want my kids to be in eternity with me one day. And I love that Peter writes, I'm trying to get this out because this is what I leave you. This is what I remind you. And these are the very things after my departure you will always be able to remember. Can I encourage you, as this weekend we talked about making this walk a priority? Can I encourage you, and yesterday you looked at this wheel and how are these 7 things added to my life? Where am I missing on these? Can I encourage you on the times where you feel like throwing in the towel, where temptation comes, where no one else knows what you're watching, what you're doing, where you're going, what you're clicking on? Can I encourage you? It is this very walk is eternal. This is what we leave. This is what others catch from us. And this is why it's got to be such a huge priority, with many other reasons why it's a priority. And can I just encourage you today? Man, keep that walk. May this be what we pass on, what they remember us by. Whether you're 18 years old or 88 years old, may this be what we leave as our legacy. When we leave the earth, may our walk with God and how to do it be what we leave behind.